So what you're telling me is you want to make a horror film without any supernatural element and without using a frame of found footage. Could never work.
At least 4 blocks around, houses aren't occupied. No people means no 501 patrol. It's gonna be a piece of cake. The guy's the shut-in hasn't left his house in like 5 days. I say we do it with him in the house. I'll get a chlorobomb.
Get out my car, Doc!
Yeah, that's her guy.
Don't Breathe is the name of the movie, a suspense thriller type horror film about 3 kids who decide to rob some homes, like all kids do. Well, they decide to rob the wrong home, and what happens when a blind vet finds them trying to steal his stuff. Lots of twists and turns, which you would expect in a movie like this, but are they worth your time? Here's 5 things you might want to know about Don't Breathe. Yes, it's true, I'm not really a horror movie guy, but I really liked this one. It's a good movie. Here's one of the main reasons. It's shot spectacularly. It's visually beautiful. The audio and the sound design in this is wonderful as well. You can tell they really know what they're doing here. And not just in that it's good to look at, but the way they use the video and the audio is also perfect for this kind of movie. They understand how to use those elements to build the suspense, to build the thrills, to keep you on the edge of your seat. And it certainly did for me. Plus, I thought the performances were excellent in this too. There's really 4 characters. There's the blind guy whose house gets robbed and the 3 kids who go and rob him. And 75% of them were phenomenal performances. One of the guys was a little bit too much one note for me, but the other 3 were well-rounded. You knew their motivations. You understood the characters very well. And because of that, you were tied into this movie. So it wasn't just the suspense that was dragging you along. It was these characters as well, and what they had been through, and what they were going through, and what it meant to them. And really, those grounded performances add to what I think is the best thing about the movie. It just feels very real. There's no supernatural element to it, so it becomes very human. You feel like this really could happen. You can picture yourself in this world because the performances seem real, the geography seems real, very real space in Detroit. You get a sense for that. All of that adds together to give you this very firm foundation that you could be in this position and that this could be the real world. And I thought that worked to the movie's benefit quite a bit. That sense of realism really does give it an organic feel, kind of an organic horror movie here. It doesn't feel forced or fake until you start dealing with some of the typical twists and turns of the horror and suspense franchise. You've got the typical jump scares here or there. They're used fairly judiciously. You've got the fake outs. You've got the twists, you've got the story turns, probably too many of them. Let's just give this a warning because I think some of them actually do work, but there's too many of them for my taste. So some of those typical horror movie elements are there. We'll give you a little bit of a slight eye roll. Unfortunately, there's also some stuff that'll give you a major eye roll. Now, they're nitpicky things. They don't have a lot to do with the overarching story. You can let them go pretty quickly, but there really are those moments where you're like, this would never happen. First of all, these kids, as robbers, would have been caught day one. They are so stupid in how they approach the robbing of these houses. Now, does that matter for the overall plot? Probably not, but I did roll my eyes quite a bit. And those things happen enough through it that it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. In themselves, they don't seem too big, but when you've got that many over time, it adds up for me. And I really do feel like that was a negative for the film. Still, overall, I feel like Don't Breathe is a really good horror movie. Enough so that even with some eye-rolling moments, the foundational realism of the human element of this story was enough for me to bring it up to a B. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. First, if you want to check out more about what goes on here, you can certainly click the info button up here, see some other reviews or how to support the channel that way. Search for me on social media, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Love movies, pop culture, and I love talking to people about it. So you can find me on Twitter, Periscope, Facebook, wherever you search. And if you do podcasts, I'd highly encourage you to listen to SiftPop, SiftPop. It is a podcast we do every week, and just like we do the Best Ever Challenge here on the YouTube reviews, We sit and talk about an even more expanded version of that discussion with the Best Ever Challenge in the podcast. So we're having a good time doing that as well. And this is the question for this week as we move on to the Best Ever Challenge. What is the best horror movie ever? Let's just go ahead and make it really broad. That was a fun discussion on the podcast. For me, the clue I will give for mine is the main actor in this was so good at his performance, he couldn't get any other work for the rest of his career. Barely. Could not shake that performance. Take a guess at mine in the comments and leave your choice there as well. As always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe button. Just click it. It's right down in this corner. Just click the Your Movie Friend logo. And I'll hold my breath until you do.